this is the first example of a stock character. Make sure you wrote down stock characters. All right. He is the lowest of the low as far as peasants and servants are concerned. There's a lot of funny servants in Commedia dell'Arte. He's kind of at the very bottom of the totem pole. Yes?
You said, what was it called? Stock what?
Stock characters.
So these would be the archetypes you're talking about?
Yes. So this is the first sort of archetype, kind of the curious peasant servant that kind of gets kicked around. What does his mask look like? Like what animal?
A giraffe. I mean,
like a bird. A black plague doctor.
I heard bird. Yeah, I can see how you could think elephant. But yeah, who just made that sound? Yeah, that's exactly right. So Zani walks around with his arms up, and he leads with his nose, and he actually makes weird like pigeon sounds. And so when he's looking around his world, he's always looking around the world like it's the first time he's seen it, and he's making all these pigeon sounds. So he's usually the confused servant, but he's very quick. He schemes a lot. He's always up to mischief. He usually causes the drama in a play or a scene. And he loves both food and women. So he's always either trying to eat a snack, get food from somebody, steal food, or flirt with somebody. As you can see, the positions of Arlecchino, they're usually very like acrobatic. If you ever play Arlecchino in a play, you're definitely gonna have a workout routine because he does a lot of cartwheels and flips and he jumps around. Typically his movement is jumping. Like he rarely just walks like a normal person.
That's tiring.
What characteristic do you notice first in this mask?
Fruitness.
The what?
Fruit.
Wait.
The what?
Like the flamboyant.
Okay, it's a very flamboyant mask, but what physically do you notice? Like
cheeks.
The
The
cheeks,
nose.
right? Okay.
A puppet.
What's an adjective that has to do with cheeks that means kind of sneaky, quirky?
Like the Grinch.
Cheeky. Yeah.
I was gonna say that.
Cheeky. Okay, so this character is very cheeky. All right. What do you think this bump on the head is for?
Getting hit.
Yes, he gets hit all the time because he's usually the servant to Pantalone, which we'll get to in a second. But he usually gets hit on the head several times because he's up to no good, and then his master is just like, Arlecchino, get out of here, okay? So this mask usually has a funny bump like that. He's a little smarter. He's humorous and quick-witted. What do you notice about this mask?
Oh.
A little older, yes, you see the wrinkles. So
Yeah,
definitely
mustache.
the mustache.
He's green.
Yes.
Thick.
These eyes are very focused looking. So he's older, he's kind of in charge.
He's a goblin.
He does kind of look like a goblin.
He's Irish.
A lot of comedy comes from Brigella because Arlecchino really irritates him. Because Brigella could be, organizing the kitchen, making sure lunch is going to come out on time, and then Arlecchino is stealing food off of plates as he's trying to organize plates for a table. Okay, Columbina. She is the female servant. She's very sharp and gossipy. It would be fun to play Columbina. Usually Arlecchino is trying to get with her because she's very charming and she kind of insults Arlecchino, but they still kind of like each other, so it's this weird banter they have. She's strong, attractive, petite, pretty, excited, tambourine hands, okay? Very annoying old man who's very greedy. So he's always walking around like this, trying to collect money. Sometimes he sticks out his tongue, okay? Because he's old and his mouth is dry. Yes.
Is he the one that hit the other one on the head?
Yes. So this is the master of Arlecchino. So an example in shows that you would recognize is Mr. Burns is definitely a pantalone. Because he's very greedy, as you know, if you've ever watched The Simpsons. He's older. Scrawny. So notice his posture. When you get up and move in a minute as Pantalone, you want to really have that posture, okay, as an older person. I know James is good at that, so that should be funny. Okay, this is a really fun one. This is another older character. This is Il Dottore, so that's I-L, Il Dottore. Does anyone know what that means in Italian? The doctor, yes, the doctor. So what's funny about this character is he thinks he's really smart, like an actual doctor. He'll walk around with his finger in the air explaining something, but really he's just a ball of hot gas. He doesn't really know what he's talking about. So it's like he knows everything, but understands nothing. He leads with his belly, so while he's always explaining things, he's also very hungry, all right? So, yes, when you walk around as this character, keep that in mind. He's a bachelor or widower. He's often cuckolded. Does anyone know what cuckolded means? Yeah.
His wife cheats on him a lot.
Yes, his wife constantly cheats on him, all right? So, his costume is usually very scholarly. Like I said, he specializes in everything and can talk a lot of baloney. Or he is actually smart and no one will listen to him. I prefer the first one. It's a little funnier. And then if you get Pantalone and Il Dottore together in a scene, it's just two old men going back and forth arguing, so it can get really funny. So these are the characters that do not wear masks. I'm gonna say that again. These are the characters that do not wear masks. Okay, it's the young attractive pair. Think like Romeo and Juliet, only the comedy version. So they're in love with being in love. Okay, they're very narcissistic. They're constantly looking in mirrors. Like, oh my gosh, how do I look in love today? All right. They walk around in very dramatic movements, very flowy. But as soon as love gets hard, they want to give up. So if there's an issue in the relationship or whatever, they're like, oh, I can never go on. So they only love when it's easy. This is a fun character to play. Just do the last 2 bullets, starting on Total Coward.
How many more?
A few. Okay, so just do these 2 last bullets. Total Coward. He's a braggart. Who knows what braggart means?
He brags a lot?
Yeah, exactly. He brags a lot. He's really into himself. He's cocky. He's a blabbering idiot around women, so he thinks he's really smooth and powerful, but really he has no game at all.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me, James.
He's really courageous, or he thinks, but then he's also a danger to himself and others. So what typically happens is he leads with his chest, he has his sword out, he thinks he can fight anybody, but then as soon as a mouse scurries on the floor or something scares him, he throws his hands in the air and screams like a girl and runs off.
Come on.
To look at. Okay, so this chart is really important because then it helps you understand kind of the order of lowest, draw this very quickly. You don't have to do all the intricate things, just from bottom to highest. Zani, obviously, okay, Il Capitano, Brigella, and then Harlequino, or Harlequin is another way to say Arlecchino. All right, Colombina, Pantalone, Il Dottore. There's a witch character, which we haven't really talked about yet. First actress and first actor, those are like the aristocrats in the play. And then at the very top is Magnifico. He's kind of in charge of the whole world. He looks down on people. His mask usually looks like an eagle. Yes?
Where are the lovers on?
Okay, so the lovers, I don't know why they're not on here, but they would be considered second actress and second actor. So the first actress and first actor, those are sometimes like the parents of, or just like the king and queen in the world. And then they would come second. So second actress, second actor, those would be the lovers.
Who's the captain?
Lovers lead.
Il Capitano, the braggart soldier.
So where's, this is the lowest, Zane?
Yeah. Zani is the lowest. Remember, he's the little pigeon man.
Can you do that again? I didn't see. Thank you.
Welcome. Write this down if I were you. All the fun names of Arlecchino. So there's Arlecchino, Scapino, Truffaldino, and Harlequin. So here's another example of Pantalone. Notice his eyebrows. Like I said, sometimes they use hair and not just the mask. But keep in mind his nose is always long and crooked because he makes chicken squawking sounds. All
Why
right.
does he have hair in his mouth?
I think it's just like the sides of a mustache. Once again, with a mustache. Here's an example of a Zani. It's more jester-like it has those, it has those tassels on the side.